Hi everybody, welcome to Uncorked and On Tap. My name is Marat, this is my lovely wife Jennifer, and we are usually here to talk to you about all the great places for you to go to in the Verde Valley, with some places you may want to skip. But today is a very special episode for us because we are doing our very first Travelers Edition. Here is what we're going to be talking about today, and this is why you should be listening to this episode if you're going to go to Negril.
We are going to tell you why we didn't go to the top two places that everybody is going to tell you to go to when you're going to Negril. That's Rick's Cafe and Margaritaville. We absolutely love Jamaica. We had the opportunity to go this year and we were like, you know what? It's always been good to us and it's been a long time. Negril is probably one of the most iconic spots in Jamaica. You have 7 Mile Beach. Everybody thinks about going there when you think about Jamaica. And being in the travel industry, I did have to go and check out a hotel. That was why we were specifically on the very west end of Negril, on the kind of cliffs area.
Which is so mind-bogglingly beautiful. I'm not even sure I pronounced bogglingly correctly. I might have made up that word.
Messed you up. So West End, we were probably about 20 minutes from the 7 Mile Beach area via cab. And we weren't really sure how we were going to get around. We were a little nervous about getting around there. And when we were taking our transfer from Montego Bay over to Negril, we got really lucky with a phenomenal driver from a great tour company. And he explained that really you're fine to walk around. It was great. It was really freeing for us because we trusted the guy and we did end up walking around a ton and we had a great experience. It was really, really safe and fun. We were able to walk to restaurants that were like a 10, 15-minute walk from our hotel with absolutely no problem. Anybody and everybody that you encounter as a tourist in Jamaica will tell you you have to go to Rick's Cafe.
No
it's
question.
The first thing out of anybody's mouth.
No question.
Did you go to Rick's? Did you go to Rick's, right? Going to Rick's. So, of course, we felt like, obviously, we have to go to Rick's Cafe. We got there, and we could tell immediately it was exactly the opposite vibe we were looking for. It didn't feel like we were immersed in the culture. It didn't feel like we were like with locals. If I see giant tour buses outside of any establishment, I'm probably not going to be excited to go in.
Yes.
So there was an exceptional amount of giant tour buses and actually tour boats coming and dropping people off. So it was just like giant.
It was a giant party.
Party.
Now look, if you're going down to Negril or if you're going down to Jamaica in general and you want to party, Rick's Cafe is the place to go because the party was non-stop. You know, music's playing, people are dancing, people are drinking. So if you're looking to have spring breaky kind of experience, I think it's there all the time and you'll have a great time. We decided to pass and we did not regret it at all because one of the places that we decided to pass it for was called LTU. You know, it was raining that day, so we're kind of doing some hustling to get around without trying to get too wet when it was kind of down, like pouring. So we see this place, because we're caught in a downpour, we see this place, right? And we run in. And as we run in, it's kind of, you know, it kind of looks like a tiki kind of a buzz to it. You can't really see inside, but when you walk in, it's like the entire ocean opens up to you because it's on the cliff and it has the most beautiful view I've seen in a very long time in like a bar area. It's just gorgeous. The people there are really nice. The food smelled delicious. You know, and the vibe was just so mellow and so chill. It could not have been more perfect. So we ended up sitting down. We ended up getting food. You had the curry lobster. Yes. How was that, real quick?
Amazing. It was like 2 types of curry. So one side was like a red and one side was a green, and it was ridiculous. I will warn you now through this whole thing, I'm just talking about lobster and rum punch because I pretty much had lobster and rum punch every single place we went, but I can tell you the lobster was phenomenal. And compared to if you're used to buying lobster in the States where it's insane, it was like $30 or something. It was a great price, a giant pile of lobster, and it was absolutely delicious.
For me, I had like jerk skewers and just, it was fantastic. You know,
this is a local spot. There were locals hanging there.
Yes.
Everybody was super sweet and kind and friendly, but I think that's because we went in with that energy of like, we're happy to be here. I'm not going to ask for an espresso martini, you know, on a Cliffside local bar in Negril. I'm going to be like, what's your drink? What's your beer? What's your local stuff?
I had this delicious new beer I've never had before because I'm on a porter and lager kick right now, and they have this delicious
Dragon Stout.
Dragon Stout too. Yes, Stout. Thank you. Dragon Stout. It was delicious. It was amazing, and I discovered it and had way too much of it that one day. And it was great. We sat, we talked to some of the locals, and we talked to the bartender and stuff. And it was a phenomenal time. And I highly, highly recommend that if you are in Negril, come check out this place called LTU. It's not touristy at all, and that's what makes it special.
Exactly.
It makes the food authentic, it makes the people authentic, and that's really what a vacation should be like. It should be connecting to the place that you're going to. So that is our first place, which is a complete home run. Put it on your must-visit list. I highly recommend.
And then pull it on your
must-visit. Thank you. Don't pull it up. All right, Jen.
Yeah.
Tell them about our next stop, because I know you had a personal experience here.
I hope that at some point you drop a video in of my experience. It was kind of crazy. But we went to a place called Xtabi on the cliffs. And we did not know this when we got there, but we did get a few recommendations to go there. We went there and we were just going for a couple of drinks, and we did not know that the caves go underneath this restaurant. So when you get there, again, this is a chill place where you kind of want to like have a bathing suit underneath whatever you're wearing.
Yes, totally.
Be able to enjoy the cave situation, because you can go down and actually go into the caves and jump into the ocean if you wanted to.
Right.
And it's wild. You're literally walking around a cave. You're like walking down and you're holding on to like a metal thing down these steps, and it's wild. It's really, really, really cool. And I'm terrified, by the way, of the ocean. And I was all alone because only one of us could go, because our stuff was up there. It was the two of us. Something you might want to think about, like having a backpack instead of a purse, because you don't want to walk down this thing with a purse.
I brought my purse with me.
We both had purses with us. So, so I was the one who went down so I could video it, and I was terrified, and it was super, super fun. And if you're more adventurous than me, or you love to jump into the ocean, then you'd probably take it a little bit more in stride. But I took one for the team, and I got all scared, and I went down there, and it was absolutely beautiful.
They had a great waiter there who had one of the best lines ever, because we were going to stop in and just have a couple of drinks. It was like towards the end, you could watch the sunset there, because it's just beautiful sunsets down there. Yeah. And so I ordered our drinks, and this guy says to me, "Would you like any food?" And I said, "No, thank you. We're going to go somewhere, later for dinner." He goes, "It's such a shame. You are so close to the best food on the island, but yet you decide to walk away from it." And I was like, "Yeah, sold." Yeah, I'm like, because if this is true, I can't carry this burden with me that I've left the best food on the island behind.
And it was true.
So we ate, and it was delicious.
It was. Like, the vibe was definitely a better combination if you're looking for something a little bit, I'm going to say fancy is overdone,
Yeah.
but a little bit more of a restaurant vibe versus LTU was like a bar that had food and great views. This was a restaurant. It was absolutely phenomenal. Like still low key, still locals in there, and you still got the vibe of it feeling authentic, and the food was killer.
Yeah, the food was killer. The drinks were great. Vibe was great. The service was great. That's another high recommend. It is called Xtabi. We will put the name there and you could look it up. Let's talk about our third place, right?
Our third place.
All right, so our third place that we really, really enjoyed. Jen, tell them what that is.
That is going to be Pushcart at the Rock House. Rock House is a hotel and it's set on the cliffs and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it has a great restaurant called Pushcart. So this felt more like a combination of tourist and local.
Yeah.
It had a true local vibe and the food was absolutely local. But if you were like, I'm not really feeling super comfortable with like a very local vibe, I'm looking for something that's a bit more like I'm at a resort but I'm getting a local experience, Pushcart all the way.
Yes.
Like great signage and fun pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
They had a DJ. Like it was more of an establishment that you might be used to.
They had their, as we like to say, they had their proverbial shit together. It was all done by someone that had lots of experience in food and beverage. They hit all of those points. But the food, the people working there, the music, all authentic. So,
absolutely.
So if you're like, hey, I just want to dip my toe in the authentic water, Pushcart's the place for you to go. You'll love it. And you will thank us for it. Especially now in Pushcart, we had
the Jamaican jerk platter.
The Jamaican jerk platter, which was tremendous, right?
So good. So good. And I had the rum punch. And that was awesome.
Yes.
Of course. And it was amazing.
And the rum punch was amazing. And I just kept drinking that Dragon Stout.
You drank it everywhere we went.
Gave me a little headache the next day, people. I'm not going to lie, but it's okay. It was well worth it. Those are the top 3 places on the West End that we recommend.
We do recommend. I will say there are a lot of great places, and we did get a lot of great recommendations.
Yes.
And obviously unfortunately, we weren't able to do them all. Can I give like a little geek note here?
Geek note? Yes.
When you're looking on a map at all the different places, something to take into consideration is if you're along the water, all of these places have phenomenal views of the ocean. You're getting great sunsets if that's the time of day that you're there. And you're going to get that in all of the places that we pass, because as we're passing by, you can see everybody's got the same setup. There's a lot of great places apparently on the other side too, but the other side is the other side of the road. So you're going to be in a place that is going to be a little bit more local, and it's going to be without the view.
Right.
So if you went out and you're like, we want to grab sunset drinks and food, and you want to do something different, maybe grab food on the other side of the street, but then plan to be on the ocean side, because that's really where you're going to get the true experience of sitting out and watching the waves crash and seeing the sunset over there. That's really where the magic happens.
But you will sacrifice some of the better food.
I know, everybody told us about a couple places and they smelled amazing, and we didn't have the time to go. For only 3 nights, we stuck with the places on the ocean because it was a quick trip. Yeah. But if we were there for like 5 or 6 nights, we definitely would have done more lunches on the interior and then probably drinks and hanging out on the exterior.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So those 3 are a high recommend. Please, if you're there, feel free to go. You will have an absolutely great time. All right. So when people go to Jamaica, especially in Negril, they really want the beach. Some of you are thinking, why would you not stay on the beach? If you want to be on the beach, you have to stay at 7 Mile Beach. I love 7 Mile Beach. It's one of my favorite beaches in the entire Caribbean. And you could say arguably top 5 in the whole Caribbean.
Hands down.
Okay. So we decided to go. We planned it the day out and we were like, hey, you know what? Let's go there. And there's a Margaritaville. Let's hit that, because come on. And you also kind of know when you go to places like that, when you're traveling, that if you're not sure exactly where you're going, there's going to be a standard that you could be comfortable with. So we decided, all right, let's get down there. We took a cab. By the way, quick note on cabs. You want to talk about cabs in Jamaica real quick?
Absolutely. So for those of you who are living in a city and you're like, I can just call an Uber, no problem there.
No.
Not really the case. Possibly the case in Montego Bay. Definitely not the case in Negril.
Right.
Negril, the reality is you're going to ask the restaurant that you're at, hey, can you guys call me a cab? And they have no problem. They know it's a local community, so everybody knows everybody. So they're happy to call you a cab. at your hotel, you're going to call a cab, but you're not just going to go out and just like try to find something on your app. That's not going to happen. If you do walk around, a lot of cabs did stop to see if we needed a ride.
Ton of cabs, yes.
But it's like one of those things where like, you know, you have a lot of umbrellas when it's not raining. I feel like when we didn't need a cab, 1,000 cabs stopped and we're like, do you need a ride? And we're like, no, we're just walking 5 minutes. But if you need a cab, then there was like nobody around. So just know that you're setting out on, you know, your little excursion somewhere. Just have the place that you're at call you the cab. Everybody's happy to do it, and you're going to need to do that.
And the taxi drivers usually will ask you how you're coming back and give you a card, and they'll say, can you ask the hotel to call them? So
I'll give you a tip there, though. If you get dropped off at a place and the guy says, here's my card, call you when you're ready to leave. This is just one taxi, right?
Yes.
So now, if he is busy picking someone up from the other side,
it's going to
you're
take
going to wait a
while.
little while.
Yeah.
So we did that because we're loyal people. So we got the card, and we're like, this guy was great. He dropped us off. We should wait for him.
We let dozens of taxis go by us because we're like, no, the guy's coming.
We're waiting for this guy. So, I would say when you're at an establishment, you have them call for you.
Yes.
It's very old school, agreed. But just be like, can you call me a cab? And they will. And that cab will probably be there a lot quicker.
So we decided to take a cab, got to beach. We kind of just were dropped off. We decided to walk around first because it's a beautiful beach. It was a little seaweedy this time of year. There was like a storm or two. So when you see the video, you're going to see some seaweed. Don't let that get into your head because it's not normally the way it is. It's just sometimes there's storms and there's nothing you could do. We
could do a whole episode on seaweed, but I won't because who would want to watch that? That sounds terrible. No one. It's depressing. It was not like if some people are aware of like the seaweed issue going on in the Caribbean. It's nothing like that. It was just a little bit of seaweed. But overall, it's literally 7 miles of white sand. And that like, when you think of going to the Caribbean, it's that. It's white sand, blue water, walking in, super calm. You can go all the way out. It's not really like, the waves aren't aggressive. It's, and you can walk up and down. And there's tons of bars and restaurants and lots of businesses on the beach, so it's a cool place to spend the day. But you're going to go there, you want to lay out at the beach. So that's why we went there from where we were staying, which is on the West End. So we're like, all right, we want to like lay out, you know, beach chair, drinks, the whole vibe. And you can rent beach chairs in Negril at various places. Margaritaville was one of them. So we were like, that's an obvious choice. Let's go there. They have things like ATMs and bathrooms and things that you think of where you're like, all right, these are all the, you know, the basic amenities I'm used to. So we get dropped off at a place and then we walk everywhere. We get to Margaritaville and it's, again, just not our vibe. Now, again, if you want to party, you're looking for like a spring breaky thing,
and families and super family too.
Yeah,
that one has like a
lot
very
of
family.
Kids running around.
Yeah, little kids running around and spring breakers. So figure that vibe out. You know, it's like instead of losing their shaker and salt, they lost little Timmy. I'm sorry, Timmy.
Oh no. Margaritaville had music and lots of people, and you can rent a beach chair there. So if you're looking for something that's more of that vibe, then absolutely you can do it. That's not our vibe though. So we decided to go somewhere else instead.
Yeah, we just decided to keep on walking. So we looked around a little bit. We enjoyed the beach areas. We kind of popped into the ocean to cool down while we decided on the place. And finally, we decided on a great place.
Miss Lily's at the Skylark Hotel. And oddly enough, even though I'm not meant to be talking about hotels on this, it happens to be related to the Rock House Hotel that I was talking about earlier.
Which was a complete surprise to me because when we got there, we didn't even know that. We might have not even known that until after our trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Skylark is related to it. That's where they dropped us off. Stupidly, we walked all the way to Margaritaville, realized it was not our vibe, walked all the way back to where we came from. Perfect stretch of beach right there, right in front of that beautiful property. So there's a couple of different Lily's locations. One is in the East Village in New York, and another one is actually in Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So East Village, New York, Negril, Jamaica, or Dubai, no problem.
All the same.
No,
but it's still authentic Jamaican.
Do you think that they have a lot of Zoom meetings for the company?
So you can rent your beach chairs there, or if you don't want to rent beach chairs, you just want to go there, you want to have lunch, you want to have dinner. They also had a DJ booth, but there was no DJ when we were there because it was pretty early. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But the drinks were phenomenal, and the food smelled amazing. It was a lot of barbecue and jerk, and if I went back, I would absolutely go and eat, but especially the fact that it's Miss Lily's, which is kind of, known in the world.
And they had a couple of celebrity chefs there, right?
Marcus Samuelson.
Marcus Samuelson.
Did a huge event there.
2 years in a row, like I think 17, 18, something like that.
Yeah.
And then was Tiffany Derry the one that was there?
She was there as well.
Tiffany Derry was there as well. So
if you're a Food Network fan.
If you're a Food Network fan, they were there. I think these are for New Year's events, so you might not be able to book this year's, but check out what they're doing next year, because they seem to have a themed dinner by one of these celebrity chefs over the last 3 or 4 years. Absolutely. Over New Year's. So check that out. That's got to be super cool to be to.
I know. We'll have to go back.
Yeah. Hey.
Eatery, man.
The last place we went to was my favorite place, and that is called Wake and Bake Cafe. And the Wake and Bake Cafe is fantastic. Do not go in there and ask for a half calf decaf with half latte and coconut milk. It is not
Starbucks.
It will not work out.
It's not Starbucks.
Yeah. This is a great chill place. You could order Blue Mountain coffee, French press. They make all of their own bakery items. And they are both delicious and some are magical. It is a great place. You come in, you make an order, and if you are cool enough, like apparently we were, they will open up the back gate for you. You could go into the back area, sit there, chill, enjoy your breakfast or your coffee or your afternoon coffee. It's like a lovely little garden. There's some rastas there sometimes. It is a beautiful place. And honestly, they were so welcoming and so lovely there. It was truly like one love.
It was one love. For those viewers who were like really into the local experience, there was actually a little inn there. And like you said, there was a band. They were like, oh, the band's coming back tomorrow. This is going to be like your real low key. Like if you're doing hostels and stuff like that, you'd probably be interested. But it had such a great vibe. Yeah. And you can do stuff that is magical and stuff that isn't. That's your decision. We had some regular coffee and it was amazing. But if you want to go and have some magic and sit in that garden and enjoy yourself,
it's all up to you. It's Jamaica.
That's on you.
Yeah, Jamaica's a magical place.
There's no judgment.
No judgment at all. So we have a cute little video here where we were drinking our coffee. It was early in the morning and I hope you enjoy it. So let's go to that real quick. This is Murad and Jen drinking coffee in Jamaica.
So here we are at Wake and Bake. We've never been here before. Once we made our order, they sent us to through a gate into their back area, and we're just curious about what's to come. We have some Blue Mountain coffee coming, a ginger cookie, and also some coconut cake. So hoping for the best.
Okay, Jen, our coffee has just arrived.
It has.
And also a delicious cookie. But the coffee is very filling, so I'm not sure. So how filling would you say this coffee is?
I think the coffee is even more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, that's a quick check-in. We've been here for about 20 minutes drinking this lovely coffee and kind of hang out in this really beautiful green area in Negril, and the island vibes here are just so laid back. So we'll be back with our next report right after this.
All right. Well, that was us drinking coffee. You thought it was going to be way more exciting than it was.
I mean, it's still just us drinking coffee.
I'm still just drinking coffee.
What are we expecting here, people?
I mean, not a lot. If you're there, you see a sign that says Wake and Bake Cafe. It is on the other side of the street.
It is.
So you're not getting
a view.
You
don't care about the view.
You don't care about
chilling.
the view. Do it 100%. What a fun ride. It was great. Talk
amazing.
about an immersion experience. Really nice. All right, Jen. Well, that is our story about Jamaica. It is our story about Negril, which for me was and still is one of my favorite places on this planet. We really hope that you go there and enjoy the place, enjoy the people who are some of the most loveliest people on the face of the earth, really.
People were phenomenal. Everywhere we went, people were so friendly, helpful, walking with us when they thought we were lost and just pointing us in what direction to go to. And I don't know, Jamaica has always been, for me, one of those places that feels really special because it feels still real and authentic. and that hasn't changed. It feels as special as ever, and I can't wait to go back.
Me too. It's absolutely. And it's one of those rare places that has actually got more authentic with time, because it made authentic more available to the traveler. So,
Right. So call your travel agent.
call your travel advisor. Do what you got to do. Get yourself down. The one thing is, don't call us. We're not going to do anything for you. But if you have any recommendations for us to look at other places, if you want us to give you more information about the places we've been to, please put it in the comments. As always, thank you all for supporting us. We really appreciate you guys, as we're out kind of trying to grow, trying to deliver the kind of content that you will enjoy, with a mouth that you can see is broken a lot.
It's hard.
It's hard.
work,
It's hard. So
people.
we really, really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. We promise you some great content as well. And if you're watching this from Negril and you're interested in the Verde Valley, Arizona, wow, that's crazy. We have that for you as well. Anyway, please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up.
Do all the
It really
things.
means a lot to us, and it helps us grow. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we need a name for our fans, right?
All right.
Like, we can't call them uncorkers.
That sounds like they're unhinged.
Right. That might be right. I know some of you people. So think of a name
It
for
could just be the corpse.
the Corks. Ah, all right. Do you like that? Do you don't? Oh my God! Please, you probably turned it off 10 minutes ago. They turned us
There's
off.
like literally one person
There's-
who's related to us watching this right now.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Mom, what should we call our fans?
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.